Hi everyone, it's Dasher Dave here again, and I'm back for another crafty video. So today I'm going to do something I haven't done for a long time, and I'm going to play with some playing cards. I'm going to make some altered playing cards. Now, as you are very well aware, I am a lover of all the sizes of playing cards. So those of you that haven't been around for an age, so they're the same size. That's just a different quirky version of that. I think that came from Leslie. Leslie gave me those. Leslie Pethybridge. There's this size. We've got this size, and then we've got the giant one, which is this size. So I think we're going to have a play. I don't know which size we're going to do. Maybe one of the larger sizes because they're just a bit different, and why the heck not? The smaller ones, I like doing things with them, but much harder for you guys to see. So, as you're well aware, I have done things with them. So, if you want to have a look back in the back catalogue of things. So, one of the things I really like doing is I like to decoupage them. So I think I'm going to, shall we go for, let's go for this one first. So, one thing about this is it's plastic coated. Okay, so it does have a bit of a sheen to it. Now, one of the things you can do is you can give it a bit of a scuff up. Now, remember, because you are going to be adding stuff to this, it doesn't matter if it gets a bit scuffed and it gets a bit worn and that sort of thing. We're going to alter it anyway. So you just want to provide it with a bit of a key. The other thing you can do is you can give it a paint over. So you can paint it over with a bit of clear gesso. So that's the other thing I like to do, is use a bit of clear gesso. So let's see if I have some here. I should do. Is that my clear gesso? It's here. So again, because I haven't used it for a while, it might have separated a little bit. Give this a bit of a shake. So this is the other thing to do, is use some of this. So I did have a brush. There we go. It's there. I'm going to use a brush and paint a bit of this on. So when you're doing this, it's again, all you're doing is it provides a key. So it dries clear, but it's got a gritty feel to it, gritty texture to it. And it just gives you that ability to ink it. It gives you much more variety that way. So you don't just have to rely on things that you're going to glue to it. You can ink it, you can cover it in splashes and all sorts of things if you're going to give it a key first. So scratching it over with a bit of sandpaper will provide a key to the point where you can attach things to it and it's less likely to peel off, whereas it won't do such a good job of giving you a key for putting inks on and things, whereas clear gesso will. So that's why I use clear gesso, and that's why I have it in my arsenal, because, well, why wouldn't you? So I'm going to just go all over it. Like I say, it dries clear. You will see, you might see the streaks of where I've painted it on. So if you're really worried about that, then you might want to use one of those, what are they called, sponge things, or you might want a roller or something like that. So let's do that. Let's just give that a dry. Always better if you leave it to dry naturally, but we do not have the time for drying naturally stuff. So like I say, not been doing much of this recently. I haven't, don't forget, I haven't forgotten Margot. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten Margot. Margot's still around. There we go. Is that dry? Is it dry or is it hot or what? Yeah, so it's kind of dry. It's still got a little bit damp. Okay, so because you can tell it's gone a bit limp, but it's dry enough for me to flip it over and do the back, because I want to do the back because I might want to decorate the back as well. So I'm gonna splash this all over. In fact, I might just try and wipe it off the handle, because that's be a good idea. That's about half a pot on the handle. So that should help. On a hot day, nobody wants to be doing that, I'm telling you now. So, now it's got I hope you can hear this, a much more sandy finish to it. So, that's given me a nice key for getting some colour and some interesting stuff going on that. So, I think what we'll do is we'll go for a bit of maybe a spray of some kind, or some soaking up of ink. Maybe do this soaking up of ink. So let's get a mat on which to do it. So, or a piece of, this will do, piece of parchment paper. Be nice if it was flat, but never mind. And we're going to get some ink. Where is my ink? Let's go for a bit of this, as it's new. We'll go for a bit of flayed burlap. Flaying, isn't that what they do? Wasn't that a medieval torture? Flaying. Yeah, we won't go there. That's not what I meant anyway. Frayed burlap is what I meant. Oh, and everything behind me is just falling down. So we're going to go and we're just going to pick up some ink from this. There we go. Well, no, don't need too much of that, so pop that out of the way for now. And then we're just going to dry this. So one of the things that I love about using a piece of paper to put ink on and then wet it is you tend to get it, because it undulates a bit more, you tend to get more spatting around it. So when you put it on a mat, it tends to pool, whereas it pulls in little clumps because it's all been creased up, etc. So anyway, it's just a thing that I found. The other thing is, some of you might be worried about my brush is molting and it's left little bits. Now, I'm not worried about that because I know that a lot of it's going to get covered up and you're not going to see it anyway. So, but yeah, so that's where we are now. So the next thing I'm going to do is, of course, I'm going to have to decoupage it, because that's the other thing I like to do, is I like to cover things in decoupage. So I'm going to have a look and see what we've got. That might be nice. Well, it's not Christmas, so we're not doing a Christmassy thing. So this isn't the entirety of my my things. That's quite pretty, but it's not really what I'm looking for today. Oh, I don't know. Let's leave it out. What's that? My right hand receiving. Oh, it's payday on Friday. That's why. Left hand leaving, right hand receiving money. And just in case you're wondering. This isn't the entirety. Anybody that knows me knows that I've got thousands of napkins, but this is just a few that I have to hand whenever I'm doing just little things. I haven't been decoupaging a lot recently, so I haven't got all of them out. That's one of my classics, one of my old favourites. Be that. So anyway, let's just have a few out. We won't go the whole hog. Let's just take a few out and that kind of see where we go with the theme. So do I want that? It's quite pretty. Might come back to that. Don't want that bird. It's too modern looking for the thing that I want to do today. I don't think that is either the right thing. So maybe that. We've got enough that's wide enough. Oh, you know what? That's probably telling me that that's the one to use. So we might come back to the others. So yes. So we'll do this. I'm just going to put that in the way. So I'm just going to do some back to basics on what I do. So this is again only what I do when I'm doing these kind of things. I'm not going to tell you, if your tried and tested method works, then it's tried and tested, and who am I to argue with that? So, sorry, I've got a very itchy hand, and I'm going to see if I can get some water into here. There's my water bottle, there it is. So I've just put some water into my brush, and this is a mixed media brush, and so it has a bullet type tip on it rather than a flat brush, which I personally find easier for when I'm doing this kind of thing. And I'm just leaving myself like a very rough line around it, and that way then you'd less like to see a rough line. If you cut it out, you'll see where that line ends, whereas if you leave it rough, you don't see. And I know that a lot of you already know this, but some of you don't, so I'm just helping you out if you don't already. So I know my mat's dirty and it's leaving a bit of a dirty edge on it, but you know what, that's going to help in some ways, because again it's going to help cover that edge. So this has got some writing, some text on it that I don't want in it. I'll take that bit out. Okay, so that's obviously picked up a bit of water off the thing, but again I'm not worried about it. So we're going to lay that on here, and that's how we're going to have our napkin. Okay, so what else do we want? So I'm just going to start and have a bit of an idea, a bit of picture of what I'm going to do. So I might use some of this. So this is an envelope that was previously decoupaged, and I might use one of these flowers. I might use that flower. And I'm going to cut that out. So I'm going to cut this out, and I'm just going to see what it looks like. So let's cut off all of the loose edges first. And I'm going to cut this out. So let's get rid of that leaf, because it's cut off anyway. And then we're going to roughly cut out this. And I'm not worrying about it being accurate, or you know how wibbly wobbly it's supposed to be, or I'm just cutting it so that it's does the job for me. If you want a fussy cut properly, you do that. I hate fussy cutting, so I tend to just, you know, do the very basic shape cutting. I don't do the finer fluted edges and all of that. So, but you know, if that's you, then absolutely do that. And if you like doing it, then brilliant. And if you tell me where you live, I'll send you all of mine and you can do it for me. So and you think I'm joking. I just hate doing it. I've got tons of it that needs doing, and I just don't like doing it. I'm better at it. I'd kind of do it because it's a means to an end, but I really don't like doing it. And I have set my Cricut up and my brother up to do it for me, but you have to have some kind of a spacing to it, so you've got to have like things with a definite edge, and it isn't always a definite edge, so you need a human brain involved, and that's why I don't do it, because I don't have one of them either. So I think I want to keep that bud, but I'm not going to keep the leaves because they're too hard to cut out. So the leaves have been forfeited. And this is what I love about mixed media as well. It's so up to interpretation, and you do what you want to do, and you have your own thing. And these altered playing cards are really so unique. There's so many different ways to do them, and you know, you find your own way, you find your own path, and it's great. And not one of mine, you know, looks the same. So, and there's snapshots in time as well, because you know, you've tried different things and experimented, and therefore, you know, things look different. So there we go, cut that bit out. So I think I'm going to have this some place, maybe there, but I'll want it, do I want it here? Oh, I might have it there actually. Yep, so I might have that there. Okay, but I want some kind of a focal point. So I think I'm going to go for a big something, maybe a bird or something. So back in a minute. Okay, so what I did was I went away and I found some images that I liked. I've fussy cut some out. I did have some other ones that I've ruled out, and I had some birds, but the birds weren't big enough, so I didn't use the birds. So I'm going for a mixed media look, and I've got these two, and I've I've fussy cut them, and I've gessoed both of them. I haven't had a drink, I promise you. I just can't say gessoed. So, and I'm just trying to decide which ones I like as a composite. So, like you see, both of these work well for having a message here. So this one I could sit over the top because he's got legs. This one she doesn't have legs, so I don't like that. She could be behind there. I like her because she's jolly and she's looking towards the bit where the message might be. Well, she isn't. She's looking up from there. I really like it because she's jolly, but I'm drawn to I'm drawn to a man. What a surprise! So I think I might use him just because it's a bit different, and I'm pushing the boundaries here because I'd normally use a Tim Holtzy type character or a black and white image, and I'm trying to push the boundaries a little bit. So I'm not sure whether he needs to be lifted. I could be lifted. Sorry, singing. He could be, I could stick him on something, and I don't think that's going to lift him though, is it? So, or maybe a piece of book page might do the job, or a piece of something else. This is the issue, isn't it, Dave? Do you have any book pages next to you? No. So he might need mounting on a piece of book page. To remove and plant in another place. Transplant. That would be quite interesting, wouldn't it be? Because we're transplanting him, aren't we? So maybe we have... If I put that on, we have that there. Right, okay, so I'm going to stick him to this, and then I'm going to tear him out from here. So he's not going to be able to go on straight, because otherwise I don't think the page is big enough. Or I put him like that. If I put him like that, then where is he going to be? He's going to be a bit further in. Or I just don't worry about having the transplant thing. Or I leave it like that. Yeah, I'm going to go there. I'm just going to stick him down, and then we'll worry about the rest of it in a minute. So yeah, so like I say, I was going to use some birds, but for some reason I thought I had some big birds, but they're not big enough. That's the problem. I've got because I've got this giant card. If I'd used the medium-sized card, it would have been fine, and then the other card that I was toying with using. But you know, I was drawn to this large card. So you make your bed, and you have to lie in it, don't you? So, but it's good because it's pushing my boundaries. Because I wouldn't like, you know, I usually like to play it easy, so I'm going for the harder stuff. Now, that's the one thing I wanted to do. Let me just see if I can peel that away a bit. I just want to cut that bit out. That's the bit that I couldn't get to because it's landlocked. So I think I'm just going to cut it out, because you know me, I can't leave a fussy cutted thing unfussy cutted properly. The only thing is I don't want to put a big crease in the piece of paper that I'm working on. I'm just going to cut this down. going to worry too much about it being accurate and perfect. I think I did quite a good job of the fuzzy cutting, to be fair. He hasn't lost any limbs, and he's still got, well, at least most of his fingers. He's got both ears. That's sometimes one of the things that, ears. Why do people have to have ears? They stick out. They're just a pain in the bum to cut. But he's got both of them, so I was obviously feeling very generous and allowed him to keep both. So there's a little bit of raw edge there, but that's fine. We'll just stick that down. Cool, yeah, that's fine. It's such a tiny bit, nobody really would have noticed, but I would have done. Just that brick just would stand out too much because there's no brick on here. So, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tear him out. So I'm not going to tear that because I wanted to keep that bit. Keep the transplant bit. So I'm just going to tear the rest of it out. Transport, transpose, transposition, and then we're going to get into other territory. So all of those things that I think are quite relevant, I'm going to leave in place, and then I'm just going to tear it around. I'm leaving a bit of a border. Otherwise, there's no point of having to put it on a book page, Dave. So this is just a giant print. Sorry, not easy to do. A giant print dictionary. That's for those people that can't see properly. Just when I want my hand span to be a bit bigger because I can't reach over the paper. It'll be easier on the other side because I won't be curling all the rest of the book page up there. Take that bit off. Now I'll come to this side and this should be easier. I'm going to leave the 359 in for a minute. I might get rid of it, but I'll just tear around the rest of it. Travesty. I love that word. It's a travesty. I haven't done this kind of thing for a long time. I know I said I'm not doing an altered playing card. I haven't done any of this sort of stuff for ages either. So just nice sometimes just to have a play and do something a bit different, isn't it? So especially if you haven't, if you've done it before and you enjoy it, you just don't. You get caught up in all the other things. That there's so many things to do. Do I go between his legs? Now that's another question, but yes, that's the answer. I'm trying not to make this sound smutty. I'm only trying. I never said I was achieving it. I'm just trying. I'm very trying. People have told me I'm very trying. So, I wanted to leave the 359 in, but I'll go around the rest of it. There we go. Cool. So, keep that bit. Might not keep that bit. So, I know I'm going to get rid of the 4, but there is another 4 there, which I will try and retain. Yep. I'm going to keep that. Yep. Okay, so let's Mod Podge this on first. So, I need to have Mod Podge, which is a good idea to use. So, Mod Podge, I'm going to use the same brush. I wouldn't normally, but I am today. And I'm just going to have an idea of where this is going. Okay. form a nice key anyway as well. The Mod Podge, sorry, the clear gesso will form a nice key for this. Just want to make sure I get it covered. So this is watered down Mod Podge that I use when I decoupage. A lot of you already know what I use, but I kind of just turn it into like single cream. The consistency, mixed it with the water, keep some on the go. Always have some that it is just normal Mod Podge, and then I will always have some that's got a little bit of vintage photo mixed in with it as well to give it an antiqued finish, which is great for when you're using kind of linen coloured things. So I'm going to put this on here. I'm going to have to do it quickly because I think it's going to dry very quickly because it is so warm in here. And because I didn't put a lot down, I can finger it. I can finger it because if it gets a bit wet underneath, you can't put your fingers on it. You'll just end up pulling it all up. So then we're just gonna glue down all those bits. Any bits that didn't get any glue under them, which is that bit there. And I'm just going to go over the rest of it, so just really gently going over the rest of it. Some of you choose to do this, some of you don't, it's entirely up to you. Don't go too heavy with it though, you'll just tear it all up. I just find it adheres better, you don't get any patches. Well, you don't get any, but you get fewer patches where it's not actually stuck down to the background. And I like the wrinkliness of it as well. So I know it goes wrinkly, and if that's not your thing, again, don't do this, but I like the wrinkly nature of it. I sometimes choose to sand it off as well because it's gone wrinkly. Not because it's gone wrinkly because I don't like it, but because it gives me that texture to sand off. There's a surface to sand off. So if that makes any sense, because of the texture. So I'm not worried about the overhang at this moment in time. Just making sure that I'm stuck down all around the edge. Cool, I am. Okay, so he's definitely going to go on there. Okay, but I just want to know where I'm going to put that. I'll put that here. Do I want it there, or do I want it there? I think I'm going to have it there because I think it gets lost there, which means I can put something down there words wise. So I think I'm just going to glue him down because I've decided I'm going to ink him on the edge first, and I'm going to use my favourite colour at the moment, which is, no, I won't use the burlap because that's what's in the background, Dave. Don't use the burlap. Shall we use something else? Let's use this, which is the rusty hinge. The new rusty hinge. Okay. Don't want to really contaminate it. I don't want to overly contaminate it, I mean. Oh yeah, it's got a very rusty colour. Yeah, which is great. I think putting the flower there as well also covers up his trainers, which I think are a bit white. I might go over it with a bit of ink anyway, just because you might still be able to see them, but didn't want them to be too white. good, like that. And then we're going to have, so I want to just ink his shoes a bit. Let's get a different colour though this time. Go vintage photo. Just to take the colour back a bit. And like I say, because I've used gesso, it means I can put colour on them. It looks like it's been tromping through the flowers now because they're not brilliant white. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to put that on there. So, and then what I will do, let's put that back on there. Put the lid back on because that's a disaster waiting to happen. Let me just have a drink of water. So I'm going to glue him down. Around the edges, really paying attention to, because that's the bit that's going to matter, so it doesn't peel up. We all like a person on a page, don't we? So I know a lot of us use the Tim Holt stuff, which, you know, like I say, I would have done if I'd had one this size, but I don't. So you make do with what you've got, and I've got lots of. This one's actually from a Slimming World magazine, and as I don't attend Slimming World because I was banished because I am a gay man who doesn't like their attitude towards non-binary people. So yeah, so I've been banished. So, and as a result of that, let's use that one. Which one? Hang on. Which one have I just? What colour's that? I think I used the wrong thing on the wrong bit. Oh well, never mind. Yeah. So I'll just use their magazines for other purposes now. So. So yes. But I keep magazines and things that, you know, have larger people images in because I like to use them for things like this, especially when I feel feeling a bit mixed media-y. And I know it's not everybody's thing. I know, you know, a lot of people say, oh, it looks too new and I don't like it, and that's fine. I'm just crafting today, so I'm going to put that there. I think that's where it's going to go. So let's stick it down because I'm putting it there anyway. Then we can have, I don't know, we need something else, I think, there. I've got dirty things all over my hands. No. Bit of eco dyeing stuff that I've got. No, I don't think any of that's suitable. What else have we got? Just got a few bits that I've kind of put to one side that kind of pulled out a few bits that I thought I could use. So, oh, Worcester's just sloped past. He's going straight into the bedroom so he can lie on the bed. I know what he's like. To-do list. We could have, maybe have that up there. Maybe have that. Peel that back a bit. I can stick that in there. Might cut that bit out. I might speed this bit up or cut it out or whatever. this inks with, that's fine. Let's go for a bit more of a rounded edge to that. Might put yeah, let's do that. So, sorry, I forgot about talking, so I might have speeded all of this up because I know this is going to be a lengthy project, so or cut bits out or whatever, or done some dissolves or whatever comes to mind when I'm doing the editing. And then we're going to have that. Oh, I should have inked that edge. Damn it. That's right, it's building up, so. Fine, let's ink that edge as well, because I'm going to put that leaf in. To-do list, yeah, I like that. I like the composite of that. I might have a little bit of this kind of at the top of here, just so that it tapers out more naturally. Might go for maybe that bit. So just cut this round, sorry. So I don't know why I'm apologising. Probably have to apologise to somebody. Somebody won't like this, but you know, we can't please everybody. very hard trying to please everybody, so I'm going to put that there, but I obviously won't obliterate his head. I'm just going to see where I need to cut round, so let's cut this bit out. Yeah, I'm going to go to that. That's fine. Okay, let's ink it. Don't forget to do that, Dave. Right colour. Wrong colour. Right colour. Right colour. Where are we going to there? Ooh, just stick my finger in that. That's not good. Okay, and then I think what we need is some words, some message, and then we're going to finish it off, get it dry, and trim it all down, etc. Stick things down that need sticking down. Where's my tape thing? Okay, so after numerous trouble with trying to get the other version of this to print, I took it apart to clean it, and now it won't print, so I'm going to have to figure out how to put it back together again properly and get it to print. So anyway, I've decided to go with the red, and because it says to-do list, I'm putting a little comment. Basically, I'm trying to tell myself this as well: live your life without regrets. So, and then I will dry this off, and I think it will be done, unless I think of something else that I think, oh no, that's the wrong one to use. That's not the first thing to lay on here. Live your, yes, that's right. Unless I kind of think, oh no, I'd like that to say that, or I don't think it's filled up the space, or whatever. I think this is kind of my finishing touches, really. Live your. So, do you think it stands out? Yes, I think it stands out enough, anyway. Live your, otherwise you'll be regretting it, won't I? Live your life without regrets. There we go. So yes, I am happy with that. I'm going to dry that off though. That's not a heat gun, Dave. So now I've dried it, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get rid of all of these edges, and I'm just going to use an emery board to do that. So it's not 100% dry, but it's dry enough. Do you know something? I need some new emery boards because these are as blunt as old butter knives. I don't think there's much sand left on these things. Sandpaper without sand is just paper. Yeah, this is blunt as anything, this. Don't think I've got anything left on it, so... Oh, tiny bit there that I found. Got a bit of... sandpaper, a bit of... Well, sand, I don't know, but the paper's still there, the sand isn't, so... Cool. And then I'm just going to cut that edge, because that's rounded, so I need to just round that off. Any other bits that I can just trim off, I'll just trim. So that. Cool, there we go. So, live your life without regrets. So that's my first altered playing card for many a time. So yeah, so anyway, I hope you enjoyed just being with me while I crafted, and you know, you got on with whatever you were doing and I got on with whatever I was doing. I'm going to go and see how I can repair that Dymo thing now, because it's a fairly recent purchase, so yes, so yeah, there we go, that's it. So yes, so yeah, so, and every other way you can say yeah. All right, folks, so that's it. Go and find your playing cards and alter them, and you know, don't just think about Tim Holtz things, think about other things that you can do, you know, cut out any magazines and that sort of thing, and live your life without regrets. And don't forget, I love you all without exception until you give me a reason not to. So don't give me a reason not to. And I'll see you all in the next video. You all take care, folks. Lots of love. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Lots of hugs. And I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.